Hello and welcome to Beauty Will Save the World. Well, this is not the first time I'll be doing an Auden video in this channel. So, this is the first Auden collection that I got like over 5 years ago. And later on, I've acquired some other Auden collections. The complete poems by Faber and Faber. I think it came out in 1979. And another smaller collection of selected works of Auden, which I liked for it's such a slim copy, easy to carry around. And if you want to lend somebody who you'd like to check out Auden's work, you could lend them the smaller copy, keep the bigger ones. So this is the very first that I got. I bought this in the streets of Nairobi. I was lucky enough to find nice books once in a while, so I'm always looking out for those vendors who sell books by the street, and it's one of my favorite findings I've done so far. So anyway, Auden happens to be one of my favorite poets from the 20th century. Of course, I wouldn't say my favorite or the greatest of the 20th century, but I mean there are other great poems of the 20th century, but I mean to me is up there with the best of them. And I mean he wrote also almost the same time as with T.S. Eliot, and when I hear somebody say T.S. Eliot, I always think of Auden. I don't know, for some reason Auden has become to me the opposite of T.S. Eliot. And so if they were doing those short videos of somebody saying T.S. Eliot or Auden, then I'll say Auden. So yeah, and I like how he sort of stuck to traditional forms, used this very traditional rhythm, used rhyme schemes. There's a way he's such a craftsman that he even using a very contemporary language and a very sort of modern subjects, a bit of modern language, still he puts in these traditional forms, and he puts them in so skillfully that sometimes you end up not even realizing it's a sonnet you've just read. I'm always impressed by that. And Auden can also have this sort of sing-song cadence to his poetry, which sometimes uses very simple and accessible language, but deceptively simple. I mean, you can't dispel it for just some simple poetry. I mean, the subjects are handled with such skill and such lightness, but yet there's always so much depth, so much music, and so much skill in his craft. So I've always admired him for that as a craftsman, and for the music in his poetry, and for still using traditional forms while maintaining a very modern sound. So in this video, apart from being just a commentary on the poetry of Auden, I wanted to read a few poems by Auden to sort of illustrate those things that I've just said. So I realized I've been doing a lot of social commentary poems, especially anti-war poems lately, or just anti-war or social commentary, civil rights and all that sort of thing. which is okay. I mean, it sort of reflects our times as well, because these are things that we have to deal with all the time. But sometimes you also just want to read something that is just, very light and about, So anyway, I'll open up the first reading with a bit of a lighter poem. It's still sort of very deep if you look at it in another way, but at first reading you just flow with the music, and maybe some of them might still be activist poetry. I don't know, but I don't think he wrote them for that, or they were reactionary. I mean, I want to believe that he was truly inspired when he did them, and that is the when something comes out of himself truly, without him forcing it out, without being reactionary, without trying to impress an audience. So let's see. I'll start with this one. It doesn't have a title, but it's always referred to with the first line, which, as I walked out one evening. It's number 38 in this collection. As I walked out one evening, walking down Bristol Street, the crowds upon the pavement were fields of harvest wheat. And down by the brimming river, I heard a lover sing under an arc of the railway. Love has no ending. I love you, dear. I love you till China and Africa meet, and the river jumps over the mountain, and the salmon sing in the street. I love you till the ocean is folded and hung up to dry, and the seven stars go squawking like geese about the sky. The years shall run like rabbits, for in my arms I hold the flower of the ages and the first love of the world. But all the clocks in the city began to whir and chime. Oh, let no time deceive you, you cannot conquer time. In the burrows of the nightmare where justice naked is, time watches from the shadow and coughs when you would kiss. In headaches and in worry, vaguely life leaks away, and time will have his fancy tomorrow or today. Into many a green valley drifts the appalling snow. Time breaks the threaded dances and the diver's brilliant bow. Oh, plunge your hands in water, plunge them in up to the wrist. Stare in the basin and wonder what you've missed. The glacier knocks in the cupboard, the desert sighs in the bed, and the crack in the teacup opens a lane to the land of the dead, where the beggars ruffle the banknotes, and the giant is enchanted to Jack, and the lily-white boy is Aurora, and Jill goes down on her back. Oh, look in the mirror. Oh, look in your distress. Life remains a blessing, although you cannot bless. Oh, stand at the window as these tears scald and start. You shall love your crooked neighbor with your crooked heart. It was late in the evening. The lovers, they were gone. The clocks had ceased their chiming, and the deep river ran on. So yeah, I really love this. It's in couplets. So these are 4-line verses with the A-B. So beautifully done. There's that music in it, there's lightness, there's depth, there's so much. It's just beautiful. So I'll go on and perhaps read another that I've always. I don't know if I've read it here before, but yeah, Refugee Blues. It's another sing song, very deep, but also very playful. So that sort of contrast is quite profound. Refugee Blues. Say this city has 10 million souls. Some are living in mansions, some are living in holes. Yet there's no place for us, my dear. Yet there's no place for us. Once we had a country, and we thought it fair. Look in the atlas, and you'll find it there. We cannot go there now, my dear. We cannot go there now. In the village churchyard, there grows an old yew. Every spring it blossoms anew. Old passports can't do that, my dear. Old passports cannot do that. The consul banged the table and said, if you've got no passport, you are officially dead. But we are still alive, my dear. But we are still alive. Went to a committee, they offered me a chair, asked me politely to return next year. But where shall I go today, my dear? Where shall I go today? Came to a public meeting. The speaker got up and said, if we let them in, they will steal our daily bread. He was talking of you and me, my dear. He was talking of you and me. Thought I heard the thunder rumbling in the sky. It was Hitler over Europe saying, they must die. Oh, we were in his mind, my dear. Oh, we were in his mind. Saw a poodle in a jacket fastened with a pin. Saw a door opened and a cat let in. But they weren't German Jews, my dear. But they weren't German Jews. Went down to the harbor and stood upon the quay. Saw the fish swimming as if they were free. Only 10 feet away, my dear. Only 10 feet away. Walked through a wood, saw the birds in the trees. They had no politicians and sang at their ease. They weren't the human race, my dear. They weren't the human race. Dreamed I saw a building with 1,000 floors, 1,000 windows, and 1,000 doors. Not one of them was ours, my dear. Not one of them was ours. Stood on a great plain in the falling snow. 10,000 soldiers marched to and fro, looking for you and me, my dear. Looking for you and me. I don't know. I've always liked that poem. And I mean, Auden wrote so many good poems, of course, but I mean, I can only remember not so much. I mean, there's ones that make a good impression on you, and I guess those two are one of them. And perhaps I'd read one last one, but just comment on the one I just read. I mean, the part whereby it says, he dreamed he saw a building at 1,000 floors and 1,000 windows and 1,000 doors. There's so many places, I think, in the world where there are abandoned buildings, huge abandoned buildings, abandoned estates, just lying fallow, and nobody's using them, and abandoned homes. And in Japan, I hear, yet in some parts of the world, people don't even have a shade over their head. So, I mean, those are some of the realities we have to be awake to. So even if I've been reading a lot of poems that are social commentaries, that are criticizing the signs of times. I mean, we have to be alive to these truths, you know. So, I mean, if I love the poem, I love it for its qualities, for the proficiency and for the good craftsmanship of the poet. And if it happens to have a message as well that is supposed to enlighten and awaken you and me, then well and good. So we are both awakened and delighted by the beauty of the poetry and the truth of the poetry. Like Keats says, beauty, truth, truth, beauty. So to find truth and beauty in the same place, I mean, it's just a complete piece of work. So I think one last one before I end this video is The Unknown Citizen, number 46. It's sort of a dystopian poem, you know, sort of dystopian poem. I think it imagines a society where the government knows about every person's business, knows, you know, there's complete surveillance, and you can't live your life beyond their radar. And the people who have been so socially programmed to comply, you know, to be good citizens, you know, to run through these boxes that have been marked out for them and live out a life, a vegetable sort of life, almost been lobotomized. And so this The Unknown Citizen, this marble monument is erected by the state. So I will read. Gives you chills just reading it. He was found by the Bureau of Statistics to be one against whom there was no official complaint, and all the reports on his conduct agree that, in the modern sense of an old-fashioned word, he was a saint. For in everything he did, he served the greater community, except for the war till the day he retired. He worked in a factory and never got fired, but satisfied his employers, Fudge Motors Inc. Yet he wasn't a scab or odd in his views, for his union reports that he paid his dues. Our report on his union shows it was sound, and our social psychology workers found that he was popular with his mates and liked a drink. The press are convinced that he bought a paper every day and that his reactions to advertisements were normal in every way. Policies taken out in his name prove that he was fully insured, and his health card shows he was once in hospital but left it cured. Both producers of research and high-cred living declare he was fully sensible to the advantages of the installment plan and had everything necessary to the modern man: a gramophone, a radio, a car, and a Frigidaire. Our researchers into public opinion are content that he held the proper opinions for the time of year. When there was peace, he was for peace. When there was war, he went. He was married and added 5 children to the population, which our eugenists say was the right number for a parent of his generation. And our teachers report that he never interfered with their education. Was he free? Was he happy? The question is absurd. Had anything been wrong, we should certainly have known. Oh, that's chilling. That's just chilling. That's absolutely chilling to just read. I mean, this probably, this is the dystopian future that probably awaits this generation or the next, where everybody just follows this routine, and what is good for you is decided by some other authority you cannot see. And were you happy? That doesn't matter really. If anything was wrong, they would have. So if you're not happy, if you're not content, if you don't feel like yourself, I mean, that is what is wrong. So anyway, that is the unknown citizen. And if you can check it out at your own time. So I've read Unknown Citizen, I've read The Refugee Blues, and I walked out one evening. Both of them very traditional sort of writing, with the beats and the syllables and the pentameter and the rhyme schemes. But as you can hear, the sound is very modern and very 20th century modern, but still, quite relevant to our times and to the times to come. And it should awaken us to certain realities of the world and life and politics and war, and just be there for one another, and try to rebel against this lobotomy that is designed for all of us. So yeah, I wouldn't want to be the unknown citizen, so I'll clear it at that. I just found this collection after not having seen it for almost 5 years, so I'm pretty excited, and I've been going through some poems. Some I can remember, some I could not, but this was about Auden. And thank you for being so patient so far. Like and subscribe. Beauty will save the world.